Hello, welcome to yet another video of Acharya Nidana Academy. In this particular video, we are going to discuss how to break the Shloka, which is one of the essential component in Ayurvedic textbooks for the proper learning of Roga Nidana and Vikriti Vijnana, that is Ayurveda, diagnostics and pathology. So here, before going into the subject proper, here we are going to know about some of the very basic concretes that we need to concretize. That is being discussed as usual in the previous videos also. We are going to learn today. First, if the physics, chemistry and biology and Ayurveda fundamentals are well known, then every information mentioned in Ayurveda that can be learned with deepest understanding. So that means this actually gives the pathway for the second concept, that is practice the concept of minimalism. What actually minimalism refers to? It is one small topic that we are going to learn from the multiple angles. That means take the example of dosha concept or the knowledge of the dosha from the point of Rachana Sharira, from the point of Kriya Sharira, from the point of Roga Nidana, from the point of the Dravyagana, from the point of Rashastra Vaichyaja Kalpana, from the point of Agata Tantra, from the point of physiology, from the point of anatomy, from the point of pharmacology, from the point of the pathogenesis, from the point of the pharmacotherapeutics, from the point of the internal medicine, etc. That means we are going to learn from the multiple angles, then we can have a deepest understanding. Third, if you know about the concepts of Kriya Sharira well, then it is very easy to learn the primary principles and practice of Roganidana. If you are knowing about the each and every corner of Roganidana, then it is very easy to learn the principles and practice of Kaya Chikitsa. In other words, the extended learning of the physiology or the Kriya Sharira is nothing but the Roganidana. Extended learning of Roganidana is nothing but Kaya Chikitsa. Fourth major aspect, whatever may be the formula, whatever may be the learning, try to identify the patterns. Pattern identification is very essential. What actually pattern refers to? Pattern actually refers to repeatedly occurring observations. When you are able to identify, suppose there are 10 steps, and if you are knowing about till about the 5th step, then 6th 10 can be predicted, 7th step can be predicted. So like that, so if it is producing harm, probably we can able to stop at the 4th level itself. If you are giving adequate medicine, then it may revert back to step 4, 3, 2, 1. Thereby we can eliminate the disease at a very rapid, shortest possible amount of time. Hence, identification of pattern is necessary. So if you are knowing about the pattern, so then it is very easy to modify the patterns, so that we can able to create a new pattern. Let me give you an example for this. If a person is consuming 300 ml of curds, which is having sour taste, that means so continuously at around 10 p.m. with that is after food, the 300 ml continuously, that is specifically indicative of responsible for the increase of pitta dosha in the body. Suppose if he is adding the little bit amount of chili or pepper, that leads to the increase of pitta dosha even to a little bit maximum extent. If you are adding the even little bit of ginger and the all the things are considered to be having the ushna virya, that is responsible for the increase of pitta dosha to the maximum extent. In that particular situation, first, what is the first and foremost that we need to do? That is, we need to check we need to stop the consumption of curds, that too having amla rasa. So thereby we can able to create a new pattern which is having madhura rasa also. That means you have to prepare freshly prepared what is buttermilk, so which may actually reduce the pitta dosha in the body. This is how pattern identification and pattern modification and pattern creation can help in the further learning as such. And the next concept, we are not doing any of the compromise in learning Ayurveda fundamentals. And next thing, follow one mentor. Why this following one mentor is very very essential? Because if you are nowadays in the present day, there is an information overload. Multiple informations or millions of informations are available in our surroundings. That means from the area of the Facebook, from YouTube, or from other social media, we are having multiple informations. Suppose if you are following one particular mentor, suppose if you are observing some 3 or 4 different videos of that particular person, then we can able to know about his past thought process, present thought process, and we can able to predict what will be the future thought process. So in that way, if you are following one particular mentor, you can able to relate the informations. Sometimes it may help you in creating a new information itself. So that is the reason you have to follow one particular mentor. And next thing, as such, whenever if you are learning the Ayurveda information, learn Ayurveda information as Ayurveda information. If you are learning Western information, then learn Western information as it is. Then try to link at multiple levels, just like the railway track is being present. Then if we are able to correlate in those multiple levels, probably, and you can understand all these, both informations in Ayurveda information and Western information clearly, you can able to relate it at multiple levels, then it may indicate we are moving in the right direction. So the sixth one, whenever if you are learning Ayurveda, it has to be learned from the just like learning a new language. When you are doing that particular, that means learning a new language refers to what? We have to learn frequently used words first. Then we have to use less frequently used words. Then we are going to use still much less frequently used words. In that way, we can able to uh, come into practice, learning come into the practice at very short possible amount of time. Hence, you have to use or learn the Ayurveda just like learning a new language. So with this, so we are now looking into the concepts of why Shloka information are necessary. Before that, what are the things that are required? First of all, the deep dive learning nature that is required. How we are going to get this particular deep dive method or learning desire? So that means we have to have the mindset properly. So that means most of us are having the whenever if they come to Ayurveda, they are having the uh, what do you say, the because of the lack of knowledge in Sanskrit, they are having the little bit less confidence in them. So that is the reason they will be having similar thought process, so that may lead to a similar destiny itself. So here the there is a formula that is being mentioned, MTFARD. M refers to mindset, T refers to thought, F refers to feeling, A refers to action, R refers to result, and D refers to destiny. If you want a desired destiny, then you have to have the proper M, that is mindset. So that means we have to have a burning desire, that is the learning mindset, and that is the two immense learning mindset. So that means you have to work continuously on a daily basis. So if you want to have a deep dive learning desire there, or burning desire, that we can even say, if you want to have, then you have to have a for work on this particular formula on a daily basis. Second, you need to have an ability to connect the dots between the two concepts. So this is what is considered to be going from known to unknown information. Then considerable amount of knowledge, that is you should have at least having a desire to learn. So that is, and fourth aspect, that means you need to have some other basic information from the Western medicine, that is Sterling forces, sludged blood, percentage of the blood in the blood vessels, you need to know about. So for this, refer the previous videos in the channel, ANA channel, probably you are going to get the informations for these. And the next major thing, whenever if you are looking into the exposure of Nidana in different natural orifices, its effect will be having the different in relation to different body parts depending upon the exposure of Nidana. If you look into that exposure of Nidana on the mouth, so there will be most of the occasions the person may be presented with Abhyantara Roga Margaja Vikaras more frequently. Whereas if the person is having an exposure on other natural orifices other than mouth, then all the occasions the person may be having the either Bahya Roga Margaja effect or Madhyama Roga Margaja effect. So, and the next thing I said, duration of exposure to the human body. So that means lesser the exposure of the Nidana Sevana on the human body, the person may be having milder symptoms. Whereas more duration of exposure, more virulence of the organism on the human body, the person may have severe effect as such, so that we are going to observe. First of all, when you look into that, how to break the shloka for the Roganidana learning. So here I am going to discuss only 3 major shloka, so that you are going to have a better understanding as such. So in this particular shloka, look at the main text where the shloka is being mentioned. This is a shloka that is being taken from the Doshadi Vijnaniya Adhyaya of 11th chapter of Ashtanga Hridaya, which says the Lingam Shine Anile Angasya Sadho Alpam Bhashite Hitam Samnya Mohastata Shleshma Vrutyuktamaya Sambhava. So here when you look into that, the first of all you are going to look into the main text where this particular shloka is being mentioned. That means you are going to look into Ashtanga Hridaya. If it is of a Sanskrita commentary, well and good, so that is ideal. Then read the commentary written by commentators for that particular shloka. Read them carefully. So if you look into the Ashtanga Hridaya, 2 people have written this particular commentary. One that is the Arunadatta, and second one that is Hemadri. So try to look into these 2 the commentaries, and still if it is very difficult for you, then consult your teacher for that particular topic. Either you can refer a teacher of Samhita Siddhanta, or you can have the discussion with the person who is teaching you Kriya Sharira, or you can refer the person who is teaching you Roganidana, or you can refer a person who is teaching you Kaya Chikitsa. So like that, so consult your teacher for that particular topic. Now we are going to dissect this particular shloka. So it is being mentioned, Lingam Kshine Anile Angasya Sadho Alpam Bhashite Hitam Samnya Mohastata Shleshma Vrutyuktamaya Sambhava. That is, so here how we are going to split this particular shloka. The below one that is being mentioned like this, Lingam Kshine Anile Angasya Sadho Alpam Bhashita Ihitam Samnya Mohaha Tatha Shleshma Vruddhi Ukta Amaya Sambhavaha. Lingam Kshine Anile Angasya Sadho Alpam Bhashite Hitam Samnya Mohastatha Shleshma Vruddhyuktamaya Sambhava. So if you further rearrange this, Anile Kshine Lingam. So the Kshine Anile or Anile Kshine Anile, that is the Anila means Vata dosha, Kshina means Kshaya. When there is Kshina Vata dosha, the Lakshanas observed will be Angasya Sada, Alpa Bhashita, Alpa Ihita, Samnya, Moha, Tatha, Shleshma, Vriddhi, Ukta, Amaya, Sambhava. So this is how we can able to learn here. So here Lingam means that is nothing but a Lakshana. Kshine Anile, so that is the state of Vatakshaya. and angasya sadaha, that is sluggish movement of the body parts. Alpa bhashita, less speech. Alpa ihita, less physical activities. So here ihitam refers to kayikam karma. Most of us are, it is saying that bhashita ihitam, that is being related to less amount of speech itself, but it is not so. Ihita refers to kayikam karma, or otherwise that is what is considered to be the physical activities. Samnya mohaha, that means the person will be having altered state, or the state of consciousness, or the person may have confusion. Sheshma Vruddhi Ukta, so that means whatever the diseases are being mentioned for Kapha Vruddhi or Sheshma Vruddhi, those diseases are going to get manifested in case of Kshina Anila or the Vata Kshaya Lakshana. So now let us look into the second the shloka, that is, this is a disease of Amavata. It is being mentioned Angamardo Arjis Trishna Alasyam Gauravam Jwarah Apaka Hashunata Angana Amavatasya Lakshana. When you look into that, splitting this, Angamarda, Aruchi, Trishna, Alasyam, Gauravam, Jwara, Apakaha, Shunata, Anganam, Amavatasya Lakshanam. That is, Angamardo, Aruchistrishna, Alasyam, Gauravam, Jwara, Apakaha, Shunata, Anganam, Amavatasya Lakshanam. When you say about it, Angamarda, that is nothing but the body ache. Whenever if a person is having less physical activity, so naturally in those less amount of physical activities, the blood circulation will be minimum. Because of that, the person may have muscular stiffness. So that is what is considered to be Angamarda. Aruchihi, it is basically related to Mahasrotas dysfunction. Trishna, it is again a thirst, which is again indicative of all our body parts. There will be Udakakshaya, or the loss of fluid from the body. Alasyam, so which is almost related to Angamarda itself. Because of that, the person will be having less amount of the physical activity. Further, Gaurava, heaviness of the body part. Again, this is something related to Angamarda, Alasya and Gaurava. Jwara means it is a disease which is being considered to be Abhyantara Roga Margaja Vikara, because in case of Jwara, Amashaya will be afflicted. Apakaha, that is again related to alimentary canal dysfunction. So, Shunatanganam, that means there will be swelling in the body parts. Amavatasya Lakshanam. Whenever if you look into this, Amavata, which is basically considered to be having the Kapha Prathana Lakshana. When you look into that, so Aruchi and Jwara, Apakaha, all they are basically indicative of Abhyantara Roga Marga. So that means whenever the person is having the initiation of the symptoms, when you say that Ayurveda says Rogaha Sarvepi Mande Agnav, whenever if a person is doing the diets as which actually responsible for the reduction in the digestive fire, definitely, so that will be an initiating factor for the manifestation of Amavata. So for this, so you need to look into the concept of Ama. So that is being discussed in my previous session as such, wherein if a person is consuming any of the food substances from the alimentary canal, if the person is having poor digestive fire, those substances which are considered to be macromolecular, they are unable to get converted into intermediate or macromolecular substances. That is the reason they are actually entering into the interstitial compartment of the stomach or small intestine or large intestine as macromolecules or intermediate molecules. And why this happens? This happens because of the damage to the either gastric mucosa or small intestinal mucosa or large intestinal mucosa respectively. When this is happening, so as these are considered to be having the macromolecular size or intermediate molecular size, they are responsible for they are not going into the liver, because the liver from the alimentary canal, to the liver, they are micromolecular substances, they will move. As the person is having intermediate molecules or macromolecules, they are entering via lymphatic system. That is the reason. So these are considered to be macromolecules. They are heavier molecular weight. When they are entering into the bloodstream, naturally, so this the viscosity of the blood that may be going to get increased. Hence the person may have alasya. Hence the person may have gaurava, and hence the patient may have angamarda. And as far as shunata anganam, that may be related to either joints or the body parts. When you say about the joints as such, when the person is doing any of the activities excessively after the consumption of food as such, in a shorter period, there may not be a possible, there may not be, the disease manifestation may be there. If the person will be consuming the food substances continuously, so that may be responsible for the more and more amount of the activity to these joints. That means the human body is composed of 10 millions of capillaries, and if the person is doing more amount of the activity, especially if the person is doing the activity in relation to upper limb, then more amount of the blood supply to happen to the capillaries of the upper limb. That is the reason the person may have the swelling in the affected body parts, specifically during the abnormal regimen pattern. That is the how you can able to get Shuvanathanganam. There may be a possibility of swelling in the different body parts. Then regarding the Samavata Lakshana, how to split this particular thing, and here I did not add any of the what do you say that the further meanings or further what do you say that splitting of the shloka I did not do. We will look into that as it is. Vayuhu, Samo, Vibandha. It's the splitting. Agnisada, Tandra, Antrakujanaihi, Vedana, Shofa, Nistodaihi, Kramasho, Angani, Pidayet, Vichare, Yugapat, Cha, Api, Grinhati, Kupito, Brisham, Snehadhyaihi, Vruddhim, Apnoti, Surya, Mekha, Udaye, Nishi. So now we split this in the more learnable manner. Vayuhu Samo, Vibandha, Agnisada, Tandra, Antrakujanaihi, Vedana, Shotha, Nistodaihi, Kramasho, Angani Pidayet, Vichari, Yugapat, Cha Api, Granhati, Kupito Bhrisham, Snehadhyaihi, Vruddhim Apnoti, Suryodaye, Meghodaye, Nishi. When you say about Nishi means it is night time. Meghodaye, that means the cloudy days, specifically rainy cloudy days. Dark colored clouds appear on the sky, which may indicate the forthcoming rain. Definitely it is actually worsening the Vata condition. Suryodaya, that means early morning time when the sunrise is going to happen. Snehadhyaihi Vruddhim Apnoti. So that means Samavata Lakshanas, they are going to get worsened because of these conditions. Snehadhyaihi, if you are administering Snehana therapy. Snehana therapy, so that is actually similar to Kapha dosha dominance. That is the reason the person may have worsening of the symptoms. So that is the fourth line understanding. That is second line and third line. When you look into that, Vedana Shotha Nistodaihi, that means the person may be having the pain. Shotha, the person may have the swelling. Nistodaihi, the person may have pricking type of pain. Kramasho Angani Pidayin, the person may have in the different body parts. Vichare Digapatchabi, so that means the person may have the clinical manifestation all over the body. So then that means the first line shows Vibandha Agnisada Tandra Antrakujanaihi. And look into that. When you look into that, this is all these are lakshanas are mainly related to. Basically, there are four lakshanas are there. Vibandha, Agnisada, Tandra Antarakujanai. So here, except Tandra, all the other three are mainly related to Mahasrotas or Abhyantara Roga Marga. First of all, when you look into that, first and foremost clinical manifestation that you may expect, that is from the mouth to the anus, first will be Agnisada, second will be Antarakujana, the third will be Vibandha. So in this way you can able to split this particular shloka, and we can able to learn this shloka better, and even we can able to analyze the known information to the unknown information. So the take home messages from today's session will be, the splitting the shloka is very easy. The difficulty, why the person will be facing the difficulty, is due to the lack of knowledge of Sanskrita. For this, so I have mentioned the one of the video why Ayurveda learning is difficult nowadays. So that is available in this particular channel. Look into that, you can have a better understanding. And first of all, the next step is actually, why you can say it is very easy, read the shloka carefully from the text, then look for the meaning in the same context in the commentary on that particular text, and consult your mentors who are knowing the information and have the adequate information from the Western medicine too, for have a better understanding. That's all for today, dear ANA friends. So what are the biggest takeaways from today's session? Do you mean it is whether learning shloka is difficult or easy? Some persons may face difficulty, some persons may say it is very easy. Actually, learning the shloka is very easy. That is why it is easy. That is, we can able to learn the information from known to unknown. Come that particular manner, then it is very easy for you to have this. If you are really liking this particular video, then mention what are the major key takeaways from today's session, and what would you like to have in my next videos. Mention below. And if you are truly liking this particular video, then spread this particular video to maximum possible true Ayurveda learners, so that we can make a huge movement out of this particular small message. That's all for today. Thank you.